Good morning, Steve here. And this seems like kind of the kind of day that it's just a good to start off laughing. Um, I had two really good days in a row, and I'm not even going to go into the detail of them, but 2 days in a row, just really smooth sailing, good experiences, and so that's all behind me now. And so I wrote a text message to a good friend of mine this morning, um, telling her that last night in the dream world. So, in one of my recent videos, I talked about lucid dreaming. I don't know if I published it, but I made a video on lucid dreaming, and I think it's yeah, not yet public. And in that video, I talked about how I'd woken up, and in another video, how I'd woken up at 1 in the morning and woke up in the dream world and was able to stay out of the sleep world but stay in the dream world. And I think this is called lucid dreaming, when you're awake and dreaming. And it's a really kind of interesting thing. I'm interested in things. And that's one of the things that I'm interested in when I wake up in my dream. And rather than, you know, go in, use a bathroom, come back, I just sit on the edge of the bed and watch the dream, because it's like, I don't know, it's like you're a voyeur on your own dream world, which is nice. You want to see what you're doing in the dream world, unless it's real scary. Well, anyway, um, in the dream world last night, I opened up a healing center, and I had like a whole bunch of tables that people could come in and lie down on, and then I would go and I'd do some healing work with them. And there's some others, friends of mine, who are working with me in the healing room, and I was talking about it this morning, and I was mentioning how exhausted I felt this morning after doing all this healing work. And um, one needs to kind of look at it if they're finding healing work exhausting, because there's no there's no reason for healing work to be exhausting. At one person, at one point in the dream, this person said to me, "But can you help me get rid of my anger?" And it was a little scary because it was two women, and one woman can be scary enough, but when there's an angry woman with a support staff, you just kind of go, okie dokie, handle this one carefully, because we haven't handled anyone or anything carefully. Yes, maybe individually we've done a decent job at raising our kids or whatever, and but in terms of the whole planet, it's just it's there's just a lot that's gone on. And if you've come here before, you've participated in that a lot that's gone on that people are attempting to heal from now. And we're in a 28-year cleansing process, and we're in the last year of the last 7 years of that cleansing process, and it'll complete on March 23rd of 2025. And so this may be a time when your stuff is coming up, and it is definitely for me. My stuff is coming up, and sometimes it makes my eyes feel like that. I noticed that that happens this morning, and I thought I could use that as part of this video. So my goal today is not to be distracted, not to be floating off here, floating off there. I did a video with a lot of good information. It was about 35 minutes long, but it was distracting to me when I attempted to watch it afterwards. But there's a lot of good information, so if you can stop it and start it and stop it and start it, you'll get a lot of good kind of data download if you want data downloaded. So I think for this, this is just going to be a beginning video. And I was going to possibly read the text I wrote to my friend about this may seem like virtue signaling. So I'm going to go ahead and do it because I'm encouraging virtue signaling. So this will be my virtue signaling video of the morning of 442024, which is a Thursday. So here's my virtue signaling. So once I kind of downloaded about my difficult night to my partner in life, about all the people coming to me for healing and all the stuff I went through, how I didn't feel like I got much sleep. I then thought, I'm really working with some, I'd say, pit of despair energies. It's just like, oh, these energies are kind of dark and sad. And I had 2 really good days, kind of bright energy. And then all of a sudden it's like pit of despair again. And, oh, well, what are you going to do about it is the question. And so I'm going to virtue signal about it because I wanted to change my state. And so I wanted to do things that didn't support necessarily my despair, but supported my cleansing process, my spiritual cleansing process. So here's what I did. I had heard that organic celery juice was really good for resetting the digestive system, especially if you do it on an empty stomach. So I went up and I took about, 6 or 8 stalks of organic celery, rinsed them off, put them in the blender, and I put 16 ounces of alkaline water in the blender, blended it up, put it through a strainer, and then drank it. But when I was cleaning the strainer, rinsing the strainer off later, I noticed that it was a metal strainer, and the part of the metal strainer that the celery pulp had sat in was shiny bright. Like by passing that water through the celery pulp, through the strainer into a bowl, it had cleaned the strainer. And then I rinsed the strainer off. I'm looking like, why is it so shiny in this circle in the center? Who knows? Could be the celery. But it made me excited that I had imbibed something that was going to possibly go through as a cleanser, a mellow cleanser through my digestive system. So that seemed really good. And then to continue my virtue signaling, I did 20 minutes of yoga breathing. I poured a detox bath, took a detox bath, put CBD oil on my lower back where I had some inflammation from lifting a heavy object at Home Depot and what they call tweaking, professionally termed tweaking your back. And I might create a profession called the detweakers. But anyway, I'm detweaking my own back. I'm using yoga breathing, strengthening exercises for my core muscles, and put CBD oil on my lower back. And then I put castor oil on my chest and abdomen where my body's detoxing process is eliminating some of the detoxes just straight out the chest. What better place to just dump it? So it's doing that. And I feel relatively good since doing all those things. And then I'm going to be making a Hawthorne's healing harmonic video for a client of mine. After I make probably just this video and one or two others, I'm going to do a brief, hopefully brief, tarot reading, the card for the day, something to give you to think about. And yeah, that's about it. And then I might let the cat in so she's not like rattling the door and making these sad sounds or these purring sounds. I want to be with my dad sounds. So I think this will be the end of virtue signaling video 1, or it may be like 1F or something. We don't know. Okay, now let's go.